Helen, we've got with us Robin Laurie, and this girl came down. She took this whirlwind tour of she leaves the northeastern United States, and it's like Massachusetts, New York, California, and then bam, here she is in Waxahachie.
I know.
With us
Imagine
today.
that.
Wow.
Amazing.
And what a good artist too, unique artist.
Yes.
Welcome,
yes.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I when you and I started talking, I had talked to a few friends of mine who do shows around the Metroplex, and they had said everybody had mentioned your name. And when I started asking everybody, when I asked him about you, it's like, yeah, you're going to really like her. Because it's really, you do have a unique enough style, and I'm sure that people, or most of the people that are watching this part of our show have already listened to the music. If not, they will be. You will have to go over and hear her music. In fact, with Helen, I was talking to Helen about when you were singing a little bit about things that, that I could hear in you. And one was I really hear a lot of one of my all-time favorite singers is Martha Reeves. And when I hear your voice, I could hear your voice doing Heat Wave or those type songs.
It's a compliment.
It's got that, you have that different cut to your voice that people will remember. And, it's like, yes, you're trying to think, guys, who does she remind you of? And then you start realizing that, well, when she throws those beautiful overtones on, she doesn't remind you of anybody but Robin Laurie. And that's, you're kind of going to carve out your own place because of that unique
I appreciate
style.
That. I hope so.
You came from Massachusetts originally?
New York.
I'm from New York originally. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of tell everybody that. Begin us at the beginning and take us on a little tour.
So, yeah, I was born and raised in New York. I was actually a drummer for many years. I played drums since I was 6. I played in a bunch of bands in high school and middle school. I moved to Massachusetts for college. I played in a bunch of bands as a drummer in college. And then after college, I started going to some open mics just to watch, honestly. I had no intention of doing music full-time or anything. I mean, at that point, I wasn't even playing drums in a band because I didn't have my drum set, living in an apartment and all that. And a good friend of mine, Russ Lawton, ran an open mic. He actually plays the drums for the Trey Anastasio band, some of you may have heard of. Anyways, he is like my mentor and just a great all-around guy. He kind of forced me to play drums with him one night, which got me into a band that same night, which I played with for about 8 years. And the last year and a half or so, I picked up a guitar and just started fiddling around with that because I didn't have a drum set at my house and I was getting bored. And
well, you play the guitar percussively. So.
It's because I'm a drummer. I am definitely not a pretty guitar player. I am a rhythm
I like
guitar player.
I like it.
It accents what you do.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I just started playing guitar, and then I wrote a song, and then I would play with my band, play drums, and then get up and do my one song. Then I wrote another song, and would get up and do 2 songs, and then eventually I had an entire set, so we ended up getting another drummer. We all lived together in a house in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, okay.
Yep. We were very good.
And where were you in Massachusetts?
I was in Salem.
Okay.
Yep. Hi, all my Salem friends.
Witchy woman.
Yeah. There was actually a really great music scene in Salem in the 90s, for sure.
Yeah.
It was pretty fantastic. We were actually all supposed to move to California. One by one, everybody kept dropping out, scared to move or whatever. And I don't think anyone actually believed I was going to move, but I'd set a date and just decided, I'm going to go do it. And so I did and moved to California. Didn't really know anyone.
And you say what you mean.
That's right.
Yeah.
Song by that title.
It's the truth. Yep. Yeah. I remember telling my mom that I wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing, and to her credit, she said, well, go do it. You never want to regret anything you didn't do. Just regret the things. If you did something, you can regret that, but don't regret not doing it. She said, go for a year, and if you hate it, if you don't make it, if it doesn't go however you want, you can come back. It's not like you can't come back. So kind of put me a bit at ease, and then I moved out there and just really fell into some lucky things. Got out to California and was just playing every open mic I could possibly play.
Were you in L.A.? Or?
I was actually outside of L.A., but I was playing in L.A. I was in Dana Point, and I was actually driving to L.A. like 6 nights a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and working and because you can't make money out there unless you're actually a big star. But yeah, I started playing all these open mics. I played a industry showcase that was this huge audition that like I went to, and it looked like those things you see on TV where there's like people lined up outside.
Like American Idol.
Yeah, it was nuts. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And you're supposed to do 30 seconds of a song. And it was in this studio. And when I got called in, I was in this little room, played my 30 seconds, but they never told me to stop. So I kept playing. So I played my entire song. And they asked me to come right in and told me that I had gotten into this. It was basically just a showcase that they were doing at the Knitting Factory. And so,
Cool.
yeah, I ended up playing that. And then there was a production company there that really liked what I was doing. Said they wanted to record my CD for basically nothing. I went out there and recorded my first solo CD, which was Dear Diary, 10 songs. And we did it in literally like 8 hours, and they couldn't believe that.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But you were ready.
Yeah, I was definitely
You know.
ready. And also, like, I mean, I had no money, so I'm like, I better be ready. This is our,
That was a Ricky Lee Jones type thing. When she went in, she was a street musician in L.A., and when she went in, the thing is that where she was a street musician was where a lot of musicians would hear, and a lot of real good musicians took her in the studio and recorded her first album basically free and in like just a few hours like that.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and yeah, they were totally impressed, and they liked my songs, and they actually ended up hiring me as a songwriter for their production company. So I did that briefly. Then they split, so that's kind of how that all ended. But during that time, I was playing a lot of shows, and I had honestly started playing shows that I don't know why I was getting booked at, because at the time I was definitely not as comfortable as I am now. I was used to playing with a 5-piece band, and then suddenly I'm playing alone, and I wasn't really a good guitar
takes a
player
while
at that
to
time.
adjust, too.
Yeah, but I kept getting these shows at like, you know, the Knitting Factory and the Viper Room and Whiskey Go-Go, like all the Troubadour, and I'm like, why? How am I getting these?
Because you were good enough to do it.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't give
impressive.
yourself enough credit.
Well,
there.
people were asking me how I was doing that. They'd been there for years and couldn't get into these places. And I finally, there was one guy that was booking a lot of the shows, and I asked him, and he said, "Because you're nice and you always show up on time and you're never mean to the sound people. So being nice actually pays off."
It
and
does.
being talented
Yes.
too.
But I will
Thank
tell you what got you then to listen past 30 seconds was your tone.
Thank you.
And you know it's unique. I mean, you can hear yourself, but we never hear ourselves the way others hear.
That's true.
Others hear us,
Absolutely.
you know. So you're in California and you're doing all these shows, and now you're in Waxahachie in Texas.
Well, she lives in Dallas.
Well, I
Yeah,
know, but I had to get her here.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
true.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't been to the Waxahachie International Airport yet?
Well, yes, so I did a bunch of shows, and like I said, and I won some awards out there, and which was great. And I went on tour, my first tour, which was 9 months in a Volkswagen Cabrio.
Wow.
That was interesting. But honestly, I was in the Midwest quite a bit, and I did like a loop between Austin and Chicago for about 6 months, and I really just missed real people, so I didn't want to go back to California. I met some good friends in Dallas, and that's kind of how I
You'll
ended
meet
up.
real people in Texas.
in Dallas,
and
yeah.
They're far in between in California. So,
Yeah. Well,
You know, there are good people.
And you
in
even
California.
yourself now, after attending all of those open mics and everything else, you've turned around and you're doing that. You're running an open mic now. Tell everybody where and
sure. Actually it's my highlight of my week every Wednesday. I love, it's Six Springs Tavern. It's in Richardson. It starts at 8 o'clock. Goes till 11 or 12, depending on how many people are there. We do a featured act every week, so I get a songwriter every week to come in and do half an hour in the beginning, and then we do the open mic after. It's a great venue. It has a great sound system, a great stage, but the best part about it, the people are awesome. It's such a good vibe in there. So any songwriters, I'd highly recommend coming out and playing in there. It's just a good group of people that are there and a good vibe in there. And
Where is it in Richardson?
it's Plano Road and Beltline.
Okay.
And if you see it from the outside, you would never believe what it is on the inside.
So it's on the east side of 75, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look out on the outside, it's kind of like a mini mall kind of looks like thing, and it looks like this small place, and you walk in and it's a huge venue with a huge stage and a really fantastic sound system, and just like I said.
Helen and I'll get over there with you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
For sure. Yeah, it's a great group of people. It's always a good time, like really good time.
And you have mentioned several times this evening that you are coming out with a new CD. Tell us a little bit about that and when you're going to release it.
Sure. So, so my Kickstarter just ended, so I'm about to get my funds. I've actually already recorded 4 songs. I want to record 2 more songs. Oh, I've already recorded 6 songs. Sorry, I want to record 2 more songs. I need to mix and master everything down, and I want to put some background vocals on stuff. So I'm basically doing the finishing touches on the new CD, which will be called "The Best You'll Never Have."
Yes,
and it's kind of speaks for itself. But I'm excited. It's been a few years in the making, so I kind of can't wait till it's all
good
all
deal.
good.
And I also hear that you're getting ready to come May. You'll be playing at Mayfest. I think we are too, aren't we?
Oh, sweet.
We may be this year. I don't know. I think somebody said that we were going to be playing over the Fort Worth Songwriters group. So I don't know. I'll let you know about that. But you are.
Yes, I am.
Sure.
Yeah, this will be my 3rd year playing there in a row. It's always fun. It's rained every year that
I was
played.
about to say.
That's the thing.
There's either a tornado or a rainstorm.
I used to do that.
So I'm
festival.
hoping this year we get a good day.
Yeah, I'm
I
hoping
used to
too.
do that festival, and it was like you could count on getting rained out at that
Oh
festival
yeah,
almost every time.
it's crazy.
It was, and not only that, it seemed to rain a lot.
Yeah, it's
And
nuts.
that-
Like we were stuck in the mud in that golf cart
Yeah,
they bring you with your instruments in.
That's
and-
right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been there and done that, so I totally
That
understand.
sucks. Well,
Do not wear your
we'll
white-
pray for dry weather.
Do not wear a white T-shirt or light colored pants. I made that
No,
mistake
wear
with
jeans.
straight up.
A wet body contest.
And you're
Woo.
going to Colorado too, right?
Yes.
You said-
So
tell us
this will
about
be
that.
my 3rd year doing that. 3rd summer doing Colorado. The last 2 summers I've only done basically from here to Colorado, around Colorado and back. The first year I did Colorado and then went east.
We want to put you in touch with David Starr, who has to do with the Apple Fest, which is on the western slope
Okay.
in Cedar Edge, isn't it, Gene? I think
Yeah.
Cedar Edge.
Very talented
And,
man, very kind person, has a wonderful wife as
John
well.
Oates lives there too.
Oh yeah,
and
I
produces
know.
with him.
Yep. Well, so I played in Basalt, and and we got bumped the first year from the place we were playing because the Hall & Oates band was actually took our spot, which was funny. So we got bumped to the next day, but that's
Well, the thing is, if we put you in touch, that you probably get in that festival.
That'd be
I
great.
want to say it's an October festival,
that'd be cool.
but you'd have to make a run up there. I think it seems like it's right before we do our show here every year. It's like a week or 2 before. So
Yeah.
I want to say it's late October.
Sure.
But, we'll put you in touch with David Starr because
Thank you.
I know you have a voice that they would enjoy up there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Cool.
a style
Yeah.
that makes it very unique. Tell me about where you'd like to be. Short distance in a couple of years. Kind of where do you see yourself? And then I want to also ask you, as independent artists, we all, I guess we all are doing this because we hope we can write that great song that people pick up or whatever. But I've found the people that are happiest at doing this are the people that could care less about that. They're doing this because they're driven.
Well, yeah.
Are you driven?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of work to be able to do it full time. People don't really understand the other side of it. It's not just showing up and playing for 3 hours and leaving.
Yeah, it's
There's
tens
booking
of
and
thousands of
promoting
hours
and
of everything.
writing
Mm-hmm.
and learning new songs and all that stuff.
Buying equipment,
Yeah,
paying for
exactly. Yes, that's the biggest one. Yeah, which is why you should always get paid for playing your
Yes.
shows.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is your business. You're a self-employed musician. You're doing this full time because this is what you've chosen in your life and you love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very
but
lucky.
But you got to work hard at it to be
Yes.
successful and to be able to feed yourself.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
Well, I will just tell all of our friends, all the In the Music Room friends, that you need to go see this lady. She's really good, and she has a different sound, which I like. It is. I don't want to say that different genres sound alike, but you really can jump genres. You describe yourself as
Alternative folk.
alternative folk, which I see that, but then the middle of Americana as well. But you have it's your. I was telling Helen when I made notes here when you were saying, I'd like to record some jazzy stuff with you sometime, because I hear your voice in a lot of major sevenths and minor sevenths, and really, as Bugs used to call them, the demolished chords, but the diminished things where you kind of go between those two things. And I really feel like you have that voice that could transcend into a trio of just you and or even just you and an upright bass.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing that is
I'd be
because
down for doing that.
well, no, I mean, you have the voice for it. Mm-hmm. So
you do a lot of different
I might
things.
encourage you to think about even thinking about writing that direction, because your voice has an intonation that just will capture that genre. And like we were talking about, you can sing rock, you can sing folk, and then you've got but the thing I think I like the most about your voice, and I keep saying this, and you guys, when you listen to her, listen to what I'm talking about here. When she wails away, it's a rock voice, and then it turns into something else. She has an overtone that comes off the top of it that is very pretty.
Oh, shucks.
And I really like it. I mean,
Thank
I really
you.
like
I
it. It's very
appreciate that
unique.
very
And it's
much.
memorable.
Yes.
And you want to be memorable.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
especially in this business,
I know-
because there's a lot of competition.
Yes.
And you
I
have-
don't have the normal girl voice of,
I don't. The great thing is that we've had a lot of ladies playing here this year. We've had, and every one of them has been unique and different. And you're just a perfect fit for what we do, and anything that we can ever do here in the music room to help you. Because we're going to get these videos out there and let a few thousand people see them, and we'll start there.
I appreciate
And,
it. Yeah.
We're going to put you on our website, and hopefully let a few 100,000 people hear you, and then
Who knows?
You just take
Sky's
off.
the limit, girl.
Sounds
always
good.
come back to us though, and be
For sure.
here when you can, because we would love to have you
Anytime.
a part of In the Music Room more.
Yeah, I would. I had a great time, and it's.
And
I
Gene,
love
thank
it.
you too
It's
for
awesome.
staying, and Gabby back there, and
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Reno.
Reno had to take off after he started the thing going, but he had to get up at 5 a.m, so he's got a real early start tomorrow.
All right.
But, I do want to thank you, and Helen, thank you so much for all that you do and all that you put up with here, because you really do put up with a little bit. We want Barbara to feel better and get her health back so that she can be with us every show. And along with Robin Laurie, Gene Moore, and Gabby Donahue, and Helen Treadway, and me, you're in the music room.
Thank you, guys.